on the snowy forest tracks of Sweden, the Swedish rally counting toward only the Drivers' Championship and not the manufacturers. So, just like the forthcoming Lombard RAC rally, the front-running Lancias were absent. It left a great opportunity for the flying Mazdas of Timo Salonen and Ingvar Carlsson, and they were into the lead early on. The Lancias in the field all privately entered and struggling to stay with the Mazdas, although they filled 3rd, 4th and 5th places after the first leg. Toyota also had only a nominal commitment to the event, and the four-wheel drive Celica GTs of Kenneth Eriksson and Leif Achterhag were spectacular, but off the pace. Despite appearances, it was mainly ice and gravel on the stage surface. That didn't suit Blomqvist in the Audi, and the 5-times winner was just hanging on to the top 10. Britain's Colin McRae was getting World Championship experience in Blomqvist's 1988 Sierra Cosworth, and he was going well. Vauxhall had Astras for Malcolm Wilson as well as Bjorn Johansson and Håkan Eriksson. Wilson would finish 13th, Johansson and Eriksson 9th and 10th. But it wasn't going to be the expected Mazda 1-2. Timo Salonen ploughed off the road during the second leg, handing victory to Ingvar Carlsson. The second World Championship success for Mazda and the first for Carlsson. So Lancia, despite distancing themselves from the event, were able to claim second place through Per Eklund with his British co-driver Dave Witter. Third, as conditions got progressively worse, Kenneth Eriksson in the Team Sweden Toyota. Running the rally in January was not a success. Packed snow, sheet ice, which gave no end of problems, some of which could be overcome. And indeed, Sig Olaf Wolfridsson recovered from this to finish 8th. A result which certainly wasn't the shape of the championship to come. Off that caption, but worthy of mention, young Colin McRae, who brought the Ford home in 15th. At Monte Carlo, the entry of the world champions Lancia. Everything that's exciting about the sport, but also everything that's bad about the sport. The car's fast, the crowd control appalling. The damage to Alex Fiorio's car here, testament to an incident that injured 2 spectators. The next day, in what was more of a freak accident, the unfortunate Fiorio went off again. 2 spectators were killed. For the time being, it had a sobering effect on the crowds, and they watched the Toyotas of Kankkunen and Valdegaard try to match the leading Lancias of Biasion and Oriol. Hannu Mikkola was trying hard for the Swedish winner's Mazda, but the opposition was much stronger here. Sensation of the event, a man who starred on the Monte Carlo before, Ari Vatanen, wringing every ounce of power out of the Mitsubishi Galant and taking the car into a surprising 3rd place. But here are the leaders, a class of their own. This is Mickey Biasion, just a few seconds ahead of Didier Auriol. Auriol tried to keep in touch, but Biasion was piling on the pressure, and a few puncture problems saw Auriol slipping behind. Moving ahead of Vatanen to complete a Lancia 1-2-3 was Bruno Sabi of France, and most of the cheers would be for the Frenchman as the rally reached its usual emotional climax on the Col de Turini. However, Biasion stayed in command to complete a victory by almost 6 minutes over Didier Auriol, with Sabi taking 3rd. Crash had put an end to Vatanen's spectacular drive, so it was Hannu Mikkola in 3rd for Mazda, and 4th for Toyota was Juha Kankkunen. But the Works Lancias had shown their power, a 1-2-3 success. Biasion now tied after 2 rounds with Ingvar Carlsson of Mazda. And Mazda had chosen to miss the next round. The Portuguese